Hello there and welcome. I'm Ole Brøgger, and if you're new here, I really hope I'll earn your subscription today. We moved out here in my workshop to look at some resin printing. I got my two Elegoo Saturn 4 Ultras here. We got the 12K version and the 16K version. I got a couple of tips here in this video, and we're also going to look at the Hoopat X4. This is a new version which should have some better sealing, so we better get started. Before we start looking at these, we gotta empty out the printer. This one here is already emptied, but I need to empty this vat. So let's move this out of the way, and remember, always wear gloves when you're working with liquid resin. This is very important for your safety and not getting any rashes, because uncured resin is very toxic for your skin. And here we got the standard vat for this 16K printer. I don't have much resin in it, but we still need to empty it. And to drain these vats, I 3D printed this device. All you need is a piece of this extruded aluminum with this profile, a couple of bolts and a couple of screws. These parts are FDM printed and it fits a funnel. And then we can put this here, and we're actually ready to empty the vat. And to let this drain, we just put it up here and let it set for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. This is the vat for the Elegoo Saturn Ultra 12K version. And one of the most annoying things with these is that you have to remove all these screws, and there is yet another set of screws inside. It takes about half an hour, 20 minutes if you're good. It works, but it takes a lot of time. So I got my Hoopat last year, and this is an awesome device. It's very easy to take off the film. You got the frame, and here you got the ACF film. But Shito Systems, they sent me a new version of this. This is the brand new Hoopat X4 version 2. And here we got a bunch of ACF films. And some sealing. Now this is pretty awesome, because I know it will help people that experience leaking. And it's very nice, there is a lid on this, so you can leave the resin in your tank. System is exactly the same. Let's see inside if there's any kind of differences. We got the frame. This is the old and this is the new, and for me it basically looks the same. So I think the only thing is the sealant, and There's no difference on this, so maybe if you already own one of these Hoopats, you can just install the sealant. And we got some instructions here. Let's see how to use this silicone ring. Let's see if we can peel this protective layer off. Without ripping off. Maybe it's actually easier to take it off first. Yeah, I think that is something I will do on the next one. And I think this is going to give a very good seal. Now let's have a look at these films. You see, this is a PFA film. And I've actually been quite happy for these, but they wear out a bit faster. So I switched to ACF. And the ACF film is very sturdy. It's more like it's rubber. It looks like it's a bit opaque, but when it touches the LCD screen, it will be perfectly translucent. So I will install this because the print will release easier and it will last a lot longer than PFA. And as you can see here, the ACF is not translucent, but it is supposed to be like that. And this is what makes this so easy. No screws at all. And as you can see here, when it touches the LCD, it is perfectly clear and it will easily expose whatever you're printing. Always only use a plastic spatula to scrape it out, but it's almost not necessary when using this little device. And of course, I will leave a link in the description on where to find this on MakerWorld. And to clean out the tank completely, never use paper towel because it can scratch the PFA film. I use this fiber cloth and some isopropyl alcohol. And this is very useful for some more prints. But let's have a look at the difference between the 16K and 12K tank, because there is one tiny difference here. This is the tank for the 12K, and we are quite familiar with this one. For the 16K, you have two little contacts up here, and this is because this resin tank is heated. That's why you need another Hoopat for the 16K than the 12K. So if you accidentally get the 12K, it probably won't work on your 16K. This is the Hoopat X4H, and it is almost identical with the Hoopat X4. The only difference is you got the two contacts down here, and the principle is still the same. Here is the seal for the 16K version, and it is the same. They just made some holes here for the two contacts, but let's remove the protective film here. And then we have the ACF film. I will just put it here. And there is only one layer of protective film on these ACF compared to the PFA, where you need to remove it from the other side. And it makes it a lot easier when you only have to remove one side of the film. And then we got the holes right here for the contacts. And make sure these clamps are open. And before you close it, make sure that all these clips are in place. I know one of the reasons why people have had leaks was because one of these clips were not in the hole down here, and when they shut it, it got a potential leak out in the side. And we don't want any leaks. And when this is ready to go, you just install the tank the same way as you did the original one. And remember, the 16K needs those spikes, so don't accidentally switch them around. Sheet Assistant also sent me some of their ABS-like contour. This is a gray color, and we are of course going to use that for this print. And note here, never cross that maximum line of level, because here on the Saturn 4 Ultra, the tank is pivoting, so it will make a spill if you overfill it. And one final thing we need to do before we start printing is to reset the counter for the PFA, FEB or ACF film, whatever you're using. We go to Tools, slide one left, device self-test, and you press this reset button and confirm. That's basically it, and now we just need to run a self-test and we are ready to print. And I need to print a lot of skeletons for my campaign, so here we got a set of 1 and the other printer has the set of 2. So let's start the print. This printer is done. This one will continue a while longer since the print is a bit taller. But I got another tip for you. When it is done, it will still need to drip off all the excess resin. And I got this little thing from Mike Moans as a Christmas present. I actually printed one more by myself. This is printed on an FDM printer and a very useful device. First, you need to confirm and go to manual and set it for home. You need the drip tray. We don't want any resin into the electronics. And now it is at home position. This can be a bit difficult to use if you got very tall prints, but with standard miniatures or a bit taller prints, this is very nice. Just put it in here and see why we need the drip tray. And now the resin will pour down into the vat. Then I will actually just leave it here for half an hour, and then this print will almost be done as well. Second printer is done, drip tray, and then we go to Tools, Manual, and return to home. And this one will go into my cleaning tank. And then I'll give it 10 minutes. And this little handy device, I will leave a link in the description to MakerWorld where you can find one and print one. And again, dripping. We can start cleaning up this when it's done. And now the lids for the resin tank will become very handy. It has one thing though. You will need to remove the screws. I always put these on top of the lid, so I will remember to put them back in when I'm going to print again. You can leave this for a week or two, but you will have to stir it up, maybe using the plastic spatula. If you're going to stay away longer from the printer, I'd highly recommend to put it back in the flask. I have boiled some water and I will pour it up in this box. And then we got these nice little miniatures, and we can start scraping them off the build plate. The reason why I'm using hot water is it will make the resin very soft, and I can easily remove all the supports. And the build plate, I'll just give it a spray with some isopropyl alcohol and clean it off with one of my fiber cloths. And then we are ready to print again. And look how easy these supports will come off. Now it's clean. And here we got the second print. Now these miniatures will need a more thorough cleanup, and then I can start priming and painting them. Now all these miniatures are roughly cleaned up. They will need some more cleaning, but I will do that just before I'm assembling them and getting them ready to be primed. But that will be in another video, and maybe not these miniatures. If you've been wondering what the empty shelf over here is for, I am going to move my 12K resin printer to that spot, or maybe even though the 16K, because I got something new arriving here soon, so that will be an upcoming video. And if you already haven't done it, please hit that subscribe button, or leave a comment down below if you have anything to say about how I'm resin printing and the full process, or ask any question if there's anything you want to know that I forgot to mention here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.